And good evening, everyone. Welcome to another exciting Saturday Night Wine Stream and another exciting episode of Drink with Rick. I'm Rick. Tonight, we're going to try a super happy wine. Literally, it's a super happy wine. At least that's what it's called. We'll find out how happy it is, and let's see if it makes us happy. We'll find that out tonight. I'm looking forward to it. Also, we're going to try a holiday cider. This is a hard cider for the holidays called Cinter Wonderland. So I'm excited to try that one too. From what I've read on the label, it seems to be pretty good. I guess we'll find out if it really is or not. Okay, well, if you're joining me for the first time or for the 259th time, because this is the 259th episode of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream, this is a stream of consciousness kind of show. Now, I do have show notes. They're right here with me. Yes, tonight I do have my show notes right here. Last week I forgot them, but I do have them with me tonight. And what show notes they are. Such as they are. Well, look, the show notes are just a guide. We don't follow them verbatim. They're just it's just a set of guidelines for me to kind of keep the show moving along. But this really is just kind of off the top of our heads, because this show's not about me. It's really not about the wine. It's kind of, sort of, but not really. The show's really about you and me getting together on a Saturday night with our favorite libations, our favorite snacks, just having a good time. That's all. And you can jump in the chats because, see, you drive the show. When you jump in the chats, you direct the show. You script the show. That's why this isn't a script. You script the show. Jump in the chats and say hi and tell me what you're drinking or not drinking, or what you like to be drinking, or what you like to see me drinking, or anything else. Now, there are a couple of things that we don't talk about, and we do keep this family friendly, of course. But there are two things we don't talk about, and that's politics and religion. Those are things that drive people apart. We want to talk about things that bring people together. Come in here to meet up with old friends. Come here to meet new friends. Let's all just be friends and have a good time. That's what the show is really about. Now, if you want to join in live, if you want to watch tonight live, you can watch on our, let me pull it up here. You can watch right here. You can watch on our Facebook page. Facebook page is Drink with Rick. You can watch on Odyssey Live, where on Live, the Odyssey channel is at Drink with Rick, and the number 7, that's the URL. Rumble, we are on Rumble. Just type in Drink with Rick, and it should pop up for you. Shouldn't be too much trouble to do that. Twitch is twitch.tv/drinkwithrick and the number 1, all one word. And also on YouTube. YouTube is at Drink with Rick, and we're on X at Drink with Rick. We're live there. So we're on 6 different platforms. You can get in there and chat with me live, more or less. Now, you can also watch live on the website if you'd like to do that. And you can, let me refresh this page for just a minute. And there we go. There's the super happy episode there. And you can see this episode going on live. Those of you who can see it and are watching, you can watch live right here on the website at drinkwithrick.com. We don't have a chat going there, but if you scroll down, you can see a comment box. Leave a comment in the comment box, and I will respond in kind. It won't be right away, but I will do that eventually. And I do have a comment here that I want to read later on. Someone can remind me so I don't forget. Once again, you're directing the show. Okay, and also if you can't watch now, if you can't watch later, you can always subscribe to the podcast. The podcast episodes go out at 10 p.m. on Monday nights. Monday nights, 10 p.m. Eastern, right there. And you can find just about any venue. You can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, podcastindex.org, TuneIn, Deezer Radio via RSS, or by email. Now, if you don't follow along on any of those other platforms, just click on the by email button at drinkwithrick.com where the subscribe page is. You'll get a little you'll get another page that pops up here, and you will see the enter email box. Just put your email address in that little box there, click the little blue subscribe button down below it, and you will get the latest episode of Drink with Rick as soon as it drops, and no salesman will call. It's just to get the podcast. And of course, if you want to support the show, you can buy me coffee, or 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 or 20 or whatever you want to do. It's fine. That helps to support the show, but there's no obligation to do that. And if you can't afford it, don't worry about it. There's no hard and fast rule about it. The show's free to watch and free to participate in. It's free to chat with me. Don't worry about it. It's okay. But if you could, there are other ways that you can support the show. You can like and subscribe on all of these different venues here. Let me pull them back. Right on the Saturday Night Wine Stream page, you can find all of the links to all of those venues, and you can go there and you can like, subscribe, follow, and ring the bell and all that good stuff. And that's much appreciated. And you know what? Best of all, it's free, and you can't beat free. Really, you can't. So there you go. All right, so. Oh, also you can reach me if you have any comments or questions or whatever. Reach me at rick@savoyamedia.com, rick@savoyamedia.com. Okay, I'm going to show you the wine that we're going to be drinking tonight. Before we do that, let's get into the chats and see who is directing the show tonight. Fine, everyone's directing the show. Let's see. We're good on most of the chats. Island Hayes is in the chat on YouTube. Island Hayes, it's great to see you, by the way, and need to give you some applause. Thanks for being here. Thank you very much. And Island Hayes says, evening, Rick. Good to see you, and it's great to see you, Island Hayes, as always. Island Hayes says, was chatting with some friends about the moon landing. As a cinematographer, what do you think about the legitimacy of the moon landing? If it's too political, no worries. Well, we could talk about that a little bit. I know there are people that believe in it and don't believe in it, and they're flat earthers and round earthers and all kinds of earthers. And people believe whatever they want to believe. There's nothing wrong with that. We could talk about that a little bit. But as long as it doesn't get political, of course. Let's check Twitch. And let's see, folks watching on Twitch, jump in and say hi and tell me how you're doing. And on Rumble, yes, we have folks watching on Rumble. Just jump in the chats on Rumble and say hi. It's fine. And tell me what you'd like to talk about. And J-Con's in the chat on Odyssey. J-Con, it's great to see you also. You get some applause as well. And J-Con says, good evening, and good evening right back at you. In fact, I have a more proper good evening here.
Good evening.
There you go. I don't use that button enough, you know.
Good evening.
That's me, by the way. Long time ago. J-Con says, I know you have mentioned punts before, but why does a deep punt really matter if the bottle is being stored on its side? That's a good question. That is a good question. There are a lot of reasons. There are several reasons to have the punt there, but we could talk about that as well. So we can do that as we get into the bottle and see if we have. Is there a punt on this bottle? I don't know. Let's find out. Just a moment. Let me show you right now what. Let me go back to Facebook for just a second. See. Okay, we're good. We're good on the chats. Let me show you what we're drinking tonight. This is what we're drinking tonight. This is a wine called Super Happy. Yes, it's Super Happy. I don't have a... Yes, I do. I have my... Yeah, it's a...
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna hit all the buttons tonight. But it's a wine called Super Happy, and this is if you notice, it has a lot on the label there, and the reason is because this is a red blend. This is a red blend of a Cabernet Sauvignon, a Sangiovese, and a Malbec, and it's from Happy Canyon of Santa Barbara. Now, we're talking about this wine. Apparently, is we'll get into that in just a minute here, because let me pull up the back end of the wine. Well, let's read the back end of the wine here. It says a 2023 red wine blend, 40% Cabernet Sauvignon, 40% Sangiovese, 20% Malbec. The Happy Canyon of Santa Barbara. Carved into the California coastline, Santa Barbara nurtures unforgettable, excuse me. Let's try that again. Carved into the California coastline, Santa Barbara nurtures unforgettable vineyards nourished by its Pacific Ocean breeze, unique soils, and humble farmers. Our wines pay homage to this idyllic region. Okay, and it is produced and bottled by Field Recordings in Paso Robles, California. And there is 14.9% ABV in the 750 milliliter bottle of wine. So that's what that wine's all about. So that's sounding kind of happy right now, I guess, more or less. Okay, let's get rid of that lower third. All right. That sounds happy, more or less. Okay, we're going to open it up right now. How's everyone doing tonight, by the way? Okay, let's start by opening. I don't have to use the decorker, which is a good thing, because I still have the cork in it from last week's wine. I forgot to take it out. I'll take it out later. Don't need it tonight. This is one of those screw caps where we just unscrew the wine. And I don't need the foil cutter or anything like that. Let's just go ahead and cut right to the chase and get the... Whoa, there's a little displacement there. Yeah. Let me get a close-up on this. There we go. Little displacement there. So it's right up to the top of the bottle. We've got the aerator in there. I'm just glad it... all over the place. That's happened a few times before. More times than I can remember. All right, and to hold the glass, we have the official Drink with Rick coaster. And to hold the grape nectar, I have my genuine Galway Irish crystal glass, given to me by my employers at buy2wayradios.com. We're going to pour a little wine into the glass. Just a little bit for starters. I didn't show you what we have on camera 3 yet, did I? I will. On good time. All right, so we have the wine poured into the glass. And let me check the chats one more time. All right. And Island Hayes says, another bottle with some horsepower this week. Happy indeed. Yeah, 14. It's a little over 14% ABV. So this is going to be... Well, we also have the cider here too. So it's down here actually. So that's going to be fun. So anyway, let's check the rest of the chats, and I think we're good for the... Jaycon says, any idea what alcohol source winemakers use to fortify their wine when it is fortified? An alcohol source to fortify their wine when it is fortified. Well, they just... I mean, it's on the way that it's. I'm not sure they don't really just pour more alcohol into it. They use. They use fermentation methods, other fermentation methods to extract more, to get more alcohol out of the wine. Let's check Twitch one more time. Okay, we're good. All right, so let's go ahead with the next phase of this, and we're going to swirl. We're going to do the traditional wine swirling, and to do that, let's go ahead and get to the wine swirling music. Here it is, the official Drink with Rick wine swirling music, which is, of course, more cowbell. More cowbell. Okay, got a good swirl going there. I like that. I like doing the swirl. So why do we do the swirl? Because for those who don't know, well, for two reasons. One, to get the wine oxygenated, to get things going with the wine, get it aerated some more. Go, get the oxygen in there. And the other reason is because, well, it's just fun. All right, so set that aside for just a moment. And we're going to learn a little bit more about this super happy wine, which hopefully will make us all super happy. Hopefully it'll make me super happy. Let's go ahead, and I looked up some things about this wine. I have a few things up here. And let me pull them up for just a moment, because I closed those tabs down. But let's see. I checked on wine or Cellar Tracker. I went on Cellar Tracker, and they gave it a rating of 89 out of 100, I guess, with one user review. And I didn't really read the review, but I guess that's. I see a lot of 89, CT89, I guess that's what it is. I'm just going to close that because that's Cellar Tracker. I don't know. But I found it in a couple of other places. I found it, let me pull that up again. Here we go. Reverse Wine Snob had some information on it. And they did a review. And saying a red blend, 40% Cab, 40% Sangiovese, and 20% Malbec. Is that what it had there? I believe that's what it had there. Yes, yeah. So it is a blend. And according to Reverse Wine Snob, it is available exclusively at Trader Joe's for $9.99. Now, I went hunting around for some other pricing on this wine, and I really couldn't find it anywhere. Which leads me to believe that, yes, indeed, it is probably just a Trader Joe's wine. But Vivino had it. I pulled up on Vivino. They had it listed for $10.04 for an average of all the users' reported prices. And they gave it 3.9 stars out of 5 ratings based on all the vintages. And this is a 2023 vintage, of course. So and it looks like I didn't really go through all these either. And some people, the ones that I saw were around 4.2 stars. So people seem to like the wine. Okay, they seem to think it was just fine. So I guess that can't be too bad, right? There was one other site that I went to. Where was it? See if I can pull it back up again. It was, let's see if that's the one. It was cheapwinefinder.com. And they seem to also give it a fairly good review. But one interesting thing that I saw about that website, it's got a lot of ads on here, so I'm not going to keep it open. It just seems to have a lot of stuff popping up. I don't like that too much at all. That's one thing. I shy away from websites that are just so full of ads and stuff. But the overall, it looked like people liked the wine. Okay, so that's fine. I'm not going to read through all of these. I'm just going to make up my own wine. Mind. I haven't had any yet. All right, so let's give this a little bit of a whiff. Let me check the chats one more time to make sure I didn't miss anybody. Okay, I'm caught up there. And Jacon says, oh, so they mainly add more sugar to fortify? I have a bottle of dry sherry that is fortified at 17%. Yeah, well, that some of that is what the sulfites have something to do with as well, because in that process. So that has something to do with it. Yeah, they can add other additives that can give the yeast a lot more to work with, because it's it's the yeast creating the sugar as as the wine is fermented. The fermenting is what the process where that sugar is building up, and then they can add stuff to it to make it more and more of everything. The thing is that I don't really want to get too deep into the weeds on this, because that can get to a really, really long discussion on some of the winemaking procedures, some of the winemaking things that some of their techniques. And the thing is, I have been for a while, I've been starting to become a little jaded with some of the winemaking techniques on some of the wineries, where I kind of prefer the more organic process and a more natural process for all this stuff, for the fermentation and for the for everything. And I think as time has gone on, I'm still buying some of these wines, but I'm starting to tend to really prefer a lot of more of those organically grown and organically made wines. I'm becoming a little bit more cynical. I guess I don't want to use the word cynical, but I'm wary. Wary is the word that I think I would use. As I get older and I'm trying to be more cautious of my health, it just becomes more of a concern to me. And I have my own, I have my own opinions on it. But anyway, so where was I? See, I did start to get in the weeds. I'm trying to stay off of the getting cynical on this, because I want to keep it. I want to keep it happy. I want to keep it super happy. So let's get happy, right? Let me give this a little bit of a whiff. Yeah, mix of red and black fruit here. There's some cherry and it smells like some blueberry in there. Let me get a little taste. Oh yeah, there's quite a bit going on here. It's red and black fruit, cherry, blueberry, maybe a little strawberry in there too, and it's fairly tannic. A fair amount of tannins. Let me see what they got here for. Yeah, I mean it is fairly tannic, and it's a little on the bold side. Not too bad though, and it has a nice. It has a long finish, and I can kind of feel the alcohol on the finish. I can feel the alcohol on the finish, and it's fairly dry, but it has a twinge of sweetness to it. But it's fairly dry, and I don't want to say that it's. I don't want to say that it's too acidic, but. Yeah, this blend brings a little cedary, I think, just a little bit cedary, and maybe some herbs in there somewhere, herbs and spices. But let me give that another taste. It kind of tastes A little bit cedar, but it's just a slightly, not really oaky too much, but it's. I'm trying to pick out. There's something else in here that I can't really pick out exactly what it is. What is that? It doesn't say. A cedary taste has gone away just a little bit. I think it's more just the mix of the fruits in there. The blueberry, a little bit of blackberry, I think too, and some herbs. I can't really pick out the herbs too much right now, but and there's some cherry in there, and the strawberry taste is still there a little bit, but not as much as it was earlier. It's kind of a nice mix of fruit. It is a fairly nice mix of fruit. I'm not sure. I think this is something you're going to have with some food. I don't know if I'd really want to drink this with on its own, because I think it's a little bit. This is a fairly bold wine, and it kind of looks like it's fairly full bodied too. Yeah. Yeah, that's a little bit of tartness to it. A little bit, not much, a little bit. Okay, man, it's not a bad wine so far. I don't know if it'd make me super happy, but I guess if I drank the whole bottle, it might for after a while. Yeah, I think Island Haze. I think you're right. Some horsepower in this bottle. It might make me super happy. That's why it's full of. Yeah. So, Jaycon says, so smashing organic grapes with your feet is what you prefer. Gotcha. Just kidding, but I bet that wouldn't taste terrible. Well, I wouldn't go that far. I don't know if I'd go that far. The idea of Lucy and Ethel, stomping grapes with their bare feet. I'm making reference to I Love Lucy. But the idea of some people in there stomping the ground. I hope they took the shoes off first. I hope they haven't been stepping on anything else. Somebody sounds super happy up there. Yeah, someone sounds really happy. But I don't know. Stomping grapes with feet. What if I don't want to get gross about this. Come on, I'm not getting gross about this. But it's just. No, I don't mean that far. I mean talking about a wine press, like an old-fashioned style wine press. A real wine press. My dad made one years and years ago. I don't even know if I still have that picture around. I'd have to go look for it. My dad used to have one that he built by hand, and I helped him with it when I was a kid. I used to help him make some of his wines, and he did it. He did it the old-fashioned way. He'd mash the grapes up, using the wine press. He'd press the grapes, get all the juice out, and then if he was going to make a more of a red wine, he'd take the skins and leave them in there. If he was going to make a white wine, he'd just leave the skins out. And then he'd put it in a big, like, I don't know, 10-gallon crock pot or something. And I remember it was big. I was a little kid, so it was a big pot. And he'd cover it with a cheesecloth for a while, and then he'd let it start fermenting. But he did it really in a natural, with a natural process. I remember him doing that. It was interesting. It was an interesting process to watch and be involved with. I have some fond memories of that. Let's see. Let's go back into the chats for just a minute. Island Hayes said, I read that already. All right, so where were we? Okay, I guess we are on X. I didn't see it popping up earlier, but it looks like we are on X with audio, with everything. So, I have right here on camera 3, I have some foods to taste it with. Yeah, that's what I was going to show you. On camera 3, I have, and it's getting cold, getting colder every second. But what I have here is some pizza, because I figured this, I'm looking at this wine, while I was checking out this wine, I'm thinking, yeah, this is something that would go good with beef. And it has some herbs in it, a few spices. This might go okay with spicy food, and it's fairly tannic, so that would work pretty well with some of the spicy food. I've got a couple of cheeses here and a burger, and then I have the pizza. Now, the pizza is getting pretty cold because I reheat it. It's leftovers. It's always leftovers, folks. But I'm going to take a little slice of this pizza and put it on camera 2 there. There we go. And we're going to have a little, it is kind of cold. Yeah. Well, it's still pizza. And it has black olives on it. Pizza with black olives. Try it out with the wine. Need more wine. You know how pizza gets cold, it gets a little chewier. All right, let's try that. Actually, it goes pretty well with the pizza. I like that. It goes really well with the pizza. With the tomato sauce in there, and because the wine is kind of acidic too, and with the pizza sauce in there, it really kind of mixes all up there, and with the tannins. And it's a pretty good mix. I think it works pretty well with the pizza and the pizza sauce. Because I got more sauce than cheese on that. But it's not bad. It's pretty good with the pizza. So I could eat that with it. Could make you happy. I don't know if super happy, but it could make you happy with a pizza. Let's go to the palate for just a moment. All right. And let's go back to camera 3. Camera 3, we have some burger there. There's a little hamburger. I'm just going to do a little piece of this. I guess I can use a fork. Okay. This is leftovers too. It was a piece of hamburger leftover from dinner. Let's go back camera 2. Yeah. I know. The burger's really good. My lovely wife, I don't know what she did with the burger, but it's really good. The hamburger meat. It's really good. Juicy still. Surprised, actually. Because it's leftovers from about 3 hours ago. Yeah, it works good. And the burger has a kind of a smoky taste to it. Anyway, she didn't grill it outside. She did it indoors. I don't know if she put it in a... I think she broiled it or no, I don't think she pan fried it. I think she broiled it. But it has a smoky taste to it. It adds with the kind of a little bit of the cedary taste has gone away out of the wine for just a bit. It's just slightly, but it does. The wine itself has kind of a little bit of slight hint of oakiness to it. And it works really, really well with the burger. Of course, when I'm talking burger, it looked like this. Yeah, that's my kind of burger. That's that's definitely my kind of burger. So, classic burger. All right, well, let's clear the palate for just a minute. We'll try it with a little bit of the pepperoni, turkey pepperoni. Let's clear the palate. Let's go back to camera 3. So we got a little turkey pepperoni here. Let's try this real quick. With the turkey pepperoni, And I do need more wine. There we go. And this is kind of a spicy pepperoni. Turkey pepperoni. That actually works pretty well. Yeah, I like that. So far, it's working out pretty well. It's starting to make me a little super happy that this is all. I'm surprised, actually. It wasn't to be honest, I really wasn't expecting a whole lot from this wine. I really wasn't. I'm pleasantly surprised that it's as good as it is, especially with the food. Now, once again, I don't think I'd drink it by itself. Some people might, but I think it works pretty well with the food so far. Let's go back to camera 3. Let's try with a little bit of cheese. Now I have some mozzarella. I know there's mozzarella on the pizza, so I don't know if I really need to try this, but we'll do it anyway. Why not? Why not? Mozzarella's decent. I'll try it with the wine here. Not pretty good. I didn't expect it to be bad. It pairs pretty well with it, I think. I think this is a good cheese wine overall. Clear the palate one more time. Let's go back to camera 3 and let's try it with that Parmesan. It's a nice fresh Parmesan. I'm not going to eat this whole thing, but I'm going to eat a little bit of it. My wife likes to say, my second dinner. The wine stream is my second dinner. Oh yeah, it goes really well with the Parmesan. Good with the Parmesan. And you know, it's fairly bold, but it's not that heavy. You know, it's there's a lot going on this wine, but I think it's fairly well blended. I think it's pretty well blended overall. So I would say overall, I think the wine is pretty good. It's not bad. It's I don't know how many stars I'd give it just yet. I'll have to think about it as we get down in the bottle. But not bad so far, and 14% ABV, I've got to be careful. Or 14.5% ABV, is that what I said? Yeah, something like that. Anyway, so yeah, nevertheless, I should be very careful with that. All right, let's go back to the chest for a minute. Island Hayes says, before the end of the season, is there a chance we might get to meet your lovely wife who usually provides the pairing and say hello to her in person? Well, I don't know. I'll ask her. She doesn't really like to be on camera. She's more of a kind of person who likes to be behind the camera, who likes to do her stuff, you know, behind the camera so much. But I'll ask her, and I'll see what she says, if she would want to come on to the show one time and just to say hi. But yeah, she kind of likes to stay behind the scenes. That's just her thing. She's not much into being on camera too much, like me. I'm used to it. I like my son Tommy. He's used to it. It's funny too, because both my wife and my daughter, they're not really the type who like get on camera or perform or anything like that. My son, he takes after me more. In fact, so much so, I don't know, did anyone here ever see his, I know I've shown it before a couple of years ago, but on the stream, but he did a stand-up comedy routine when he was 6 years old, when he was in first grade. He did a talent show. He did a stand-up routine. It was very, very good, very well received, and he even got a call from a producer of a popular kids cable channel wanting to audition him, and but we did not pursue that. We didn't pursue that. Anyway, where was I? Oh yes, so smashing organic grapes with your feet is what you prefer. Gotcha. I know you're kidding. I don't know. When I think of that in my head, I think of some really old guy or old lady pulling off their feet, and all kinds of it just. Oh, I don't want to go there. Let's just keep it decent. I don't want to make people sick. Use your imagination. The thing is, do they use the Gold Bond or anything like that on their feet before or after? No, I don't want to. Or any of that powder or anything like that. It's just, Anyway, there are some things I really want to say, but I can't say them. I just don't want to gross people out. I really don't. Anyway, so that's the tasting there. We've got the tasting out of the way. So what time is it now? It is time for the toasting. Let's do the toasting. We're going to toast the national days. It is time to toast the national days. All right, we have some national days to toast, and I hope everyone has a glass full, and we're going to toast it because we're coming up to the end of the year, folks, and we do have a few national days to toast, and I'll try to get through them here. So, what's the first one here? Oh, by the way, these national days are courtesy of nationaldaycalendar.com. Nationaldaycalendar.com is Marlo Anderson's site. He is the CEO and the curator of these national days. Marlo, appreciate it. All right, today, December 21st. I'm going to go do that one last. December 21st, 2024, which it'll be today for another hour and 5 minutes. It is National Maine Day. As you know, National Day Calendar has been picking they're going through all 50 states and doing every week, celebrating a state of the United States in the order of when they joined the Union in the U.S. And Maine is the 23rd state to join the Union. So it's a way of honoring each state in the order they joined, and this is the day that they're dedicating to celebrate the unique heritage, achievements, and spirit of the state. So here's to National Maine Day. I will drink to that. National Maine Day. It's also National French Fried Shrimp Day. Yeah, I almost messed that one up. 14.5% ABV, is that what it says? National French Fried Shrimp Day. I've never had French Fried Shrimp. I'm not a shrimp person, to be honest. But
oh, great.
If you like shrimp, here's whatever. We're toasting national days, right? Does it really matter? Here's the National French Fried Shrimp Day. I'll drink to that. For those who like French fried shrimp, there you go. Today is also Humbug Day. That's right. It's Humbug Day, and the only closest thing I have to humbug is what I just played.
Great.
There you go. It's National Humbug Day. I'll drink to that. Why not? It's also National Crossword Puzzle Day. That's right. I love crossword puzzles. Didn't we do a crossword puzzle day last week? I think we did. We did do kind of a crossword. Didn't we do a crossword puzzle last week? Why is it crossword puzzle day again today? I thought we did one last week. Well, I guess we'll do one again this week too. Here's National Crossword Puzzle Day. I'll drink to that. Quiet, Bill. Today is also Anne and Samantha Day. Now, this is a little bit more serious, but I want to toast these two individuals on today. Let me tell you what Anne and Samantha Day is. December 21st. Now, this is celebrated twice a year. It's celebrated on the day of the summer solstice and on the winter solstice. And we're coming up to the winter solstice here in just a minute. But Anne and Samantha Day is celebrated biannually on those 2 days, summer solstice and the winter solstice. Anne and Samantha Day honors Anne Frank and Samantha Smith. Now, many of you, I think most everyone is aware of, have heard of Anne Frank. And for those who are not aware, and of course I'm getting some of this from nationaldaycalendar.com, although I'm familiar with Anne Frank, we grew up studying about her a little bit in school. And Frank moved generations with words she recorded in her diary. And she was a young Jewish girl who was born June 12th, 1929 in Frankfurt, Germany. And this was around pretty close to the time of a huge upheaval in world history. And she was the second daughter of Otto and Ruth Frank. Now, after she received a diary for her 13th birthday, and just a few weeks after she got this diary, her family and the family of her father, or the families of her father's employees, were forced into hiding because this was in 1942 and the Nazis were taking over, and being Jewish, and her family had to hide out. And they were hiding for a while. They were hiding in an empty space in the back of her father's company building, and that is where she wrote her diary every day. She wrote every day in her diary, and that became kind of a bit of solace for her when she was, during some really dark times. It kind of helped keep her sanity, more or less. Just kind of, there was a lot of despair at that time. They just kind of gave her a little bit of solace, and being able to do some writing and to kind of keep her head clear a little bit. So when she was 10 years old, 10 years old. I'm getting ahead of myself here with the other girl. All right. So what happened was, when they were in hiding for a while, and then, as the story goes, they had to flee to Amsterdam. And it was when they were in Amsterdam is when the Nazis caught up with them and put them in concentration camps. Anne Frank did not survive the concentration camp. In fact, the whole family, except for her dad, I think her dad was the only survivor from the concentration camp at the end of the war. And then he found her diary after the war, and that's how the diary survived. So that's basically the story of Anne Frank, and how Anne Frank's diary came to light and was published. And of course, it's a very, very famous book, The Diary of Anne Frank. It's been made into movies, and I think a TV special or something. I think, I'm not sure about that, but that was Anne Frank. Now, Samantha, the other girl. This is this young lady, Samantha, she Samantha Smith, she was involved. She was around in the Cold War. She was a young girl during the Cold War, and she wrote a letter. As I recall, she wrote a letter to the Soviet leader at the time, and that was, she wrote. I think at the time it was Yuri Andropov. It was Yuri Andropov. So she wrote a letter to him. And now he did not get the letter right away. I think it was wound up. Her letter got published, I think, in the Soviet paper, and then Yuri Andropov got a hold of that after it was published and everything. This is my recollection is how the story went, and the letter that she wrote to him, because she was really trying to understand what was going on in the Cold War between the U.S. and Russia, so that's why she wrote him that letter. And basically in the letter it was just asking him why is this happening, So she did receive a reply when he finally got a hold of the letter and read it himself. He did reply to her. He sent her a reply, and he answered her questions basically from his point of view. And it was a pretty long letter from what I understand. But the letter did include an invitation to visit the Soviet Union. So she did, because of that, Samantha Smith became known as America's youngest ambassador. And she traveled to the Soviet Union. She went there to the Soviet Union, and then she wrote a book about her visit there. And then she started traveling around the world and getting involved in peacemaking activities and things like that. I think she was even in a television series, and it was called Lime Street. So that was Samantha Smith. Now the thing is, though, is that she passed away at 13, when she was only 13 years old, in a plane crash. So that was in 1985. But and that's what these days are commemorating. They're commemorating these two girls, Anne Frank and Samantha Smith. So in honor of Anne and Samantha Day, here is to Anne and Samantha Day. I'll drink to that. And I'll do it again. One for Anne, one for Samantha. I'll drink to that. To Anne and Samantha Day. All right, we have a couple of other days. Let's move up on a little bit of a lighter note, lighter track. Today is National Flashlight Day. It is, yes, today is National Flashlight Day. I know, it's National Flashlight Day. And in celebrating National Flashlight Day, I have a flashlight. And this isn't just any flashlight. This is I like this flashlight. This is one of my favorite flashlights. It's when it works right. But this is a kind of cool flashlight. Look at this. It's kind of a three-way flashlight. I did a review on this for the Free Stuff Show years ago. This is a really, really solid flashlight. First of all, you can let's see if it still works. It would go out on me. There we go. Very, very powerful flashlight, and it has a I don't know if you can see it here, but let me shine it in the back here. Okay, it has this really broad beam, and then I can zoom up to give it a really, really narrow beam. Look at that. So I can give it a really, that's kind of cool. Look at that. So I can give it I can zoom up and give it a really, really narrow beam here. Kind of cool, neat. It's come in handy. This thing has a lot of, I can shoot this out down the street and I can hit the stop sign way down at the end of the street with this thing. It's that powerful. Not only that, though, it does this. It has a couple of other modes. I can pull this up like this. I've used this before. I think I used it once. We had a We got stuck on the side of the road once, and I had to change a tire. And I had this item on here. Let me see if I can get this thing to work. It's been a while. There we go. It has this light that comes on like this. And then I can change it. I can there's a flash. Here we go. The red light, the flashing red light like this. It's kind of cool, neat. And what's really cool is that when I was changing the tire, the end of it is magnetic. I have a magnet on the back. And it's a really powerful magnet. I can hang, I can hang it off the. Let me see if I can hang it off of this thing. No, that's not conductive to. But anyway, I can. It'll stick to a lot of things. It'll stick to my cell phone. There we go. Not that I really want it to, but it could. This is a really cool. It's called an AYL TC-80. I don't think they even make this one anymore, at least not by that brand. But it's a pretty cool flashlight. I like it. Use it a lot. I've used it quite a bit. Matter of fact, we used it to shoot a video with for a product. In fact, it was this product. It was this particular product that we were shooting a video for. And S65G, the Ocean S65G radio. And it was in the dark, and we were doing this kind of film noir kind of thing in the dark with the radio, and we had to shine we shined this flashlight on the radio to give it a big shadow in the back. It's kind of cool. But we did that for a commercial that we did for this radio. We did a 60-second commercial for it, which turned out pretty well. I could play it here, but I don't have it queued up. Anyway, so where was I going with this? Oh yes, National Flashlight Day. I will drink to that. National Flashlight Day. We have one more national day to toast. I was saving this one for last because we could talk about this one all through the rest of the show. Oh, you know what? I'm sorry, we missed two. It's Yule Day. I missed three. All right, today is Yule Day. Yule Day. Y-U-L-E. Y-U-L-E. Yule Day. Not like you all come over here. It's Yule, like a Yule log. You all log that in. Okay. Yule log. Day of winter solstice. That's what Yule Day is. I'll drink to that. It's also National Homeless Persons Remembrance Day, which is the first day of winter. National Homeless Persons Remembrance Day is on the first day of winter to remember those in the homeless community who have died the previous year. The day reminds us to honor them and remember the life they lived. I'm reading that from nationaldaycalendar.com. So here's to National Homeless Persons Remembrance Day. I'll drink to that. Okay, last one. If you've missed all the hints so far, the last national day I want to toast is, of course, Winter Solstice Day. Today is the first day of winter. December 21st, 2024 is the first day of winter. Winter Solstice Day. I'll drink to that. Why not? Here's to the first day of winter. And right in line with the first day of winter, it's cold outside. Hence why I have the fireplace going. And with that, I think that'll do it for the national days. Once again, this is what we're drinking. We're drinking the super happy, and I mean super happy, Cabernet Sauvignon Sangiovese and Malbec from Happy Canton of Santa Barbara. This is a wine from Paso Robles, California. 40% Cab, 40% Sangiovese, and 20% Malbec. And we're just all super happy. Oh boy. All right, so I guess that does it for the national days. I think we're all done with that, right? Island Hayes says, is there going to be a Christmas stream? Well... No. No, there won't be a Christmas stream. And then this is because I think we all want some time with our families and just to just kind of chill out and enjoy the holidays. So there won't be a Christmas stream. However, there will be a New Year's stream, and it won't be. It'll be on New Year's Eve. I'm jumping the gun a little bit because I was going to announce this next week instead of this week. But the plan is to do a New Year's Eve stream. We've done this every year for the last 6 or so years. So why break tradition? But there will be a New Year's Eve stream. We will celebrate and ring in the new year. I probably won't use that bell, but we'll ring in the new year. We'll have a special it'll only be like a 1 hour show. We're going to start at 11 o'clock instead of 10. We'll start at 11 p.m. and then we'll go into the new year and watch the ball drop. I don't know. We're gonna. I don't know. It always sounds funny to say that. I don't know why. It does. But anyway, I know the laugh's coming. Yeah, the laugh is there. Okay. Enough of the laugh. Anyway, there will be a New Year's stream. It'll be 11 p.m. and I'll be putting on a little promo for it before we do it. That is going to be on the 31st, 11 p.m. December 31st, and that is a Tuesday night. So it's going to be a special stream, and I'm going to review a wine. We're going to have some festivities. We'll have some festivities, maybe show a short film or two as well. So I hope you'll stick around and enjoy that. I had a film lined up, queued up for tonight. Maybe I could show that now or in a few minutes, but I think I should open the cider first. Jaycon says for National Flashlight Day, maybe I'll buy a 100,000 lumen flashlight. Whoa. That's 100,000 lumens. I tell you what's in this flashlight. This is I don't know if this is official Cree LED, but if you get a flashlight, a really powerful flashlight like this one, try to find one that's got Cree LEDs in it, because those are really, really powerful, and they're really, really good. It's a good LED type for flashlights, Cree LEDs. Now there are some manufacturers. Let me think right offhand. I think does Sarge have one? I don't know, but Midland makes an emergency radio set that has a little flashlight in it, and that, I believe it uses Cree LEDs, and that's another one that I use. I use that one actually. I use that one when I'm taking the dog out. And it's really, I can't focus it like I can with this thing, but it is still a pretty cool little flashlight. It's a little tiny flashlight. I should have brought that up here too, but it's really cool. And I believe that one uses Cree LEDs, C-R-E-E. Good technology. I like that. Cree LEDs. I recommend those for a flashlight. I think that's what's in this one. I think. I'm not 100% sure. Don't quote me on that. Let's see. Let's check out the other chats going on here, and we're good. And I don't know how to check chats in X. I just know we're there. Oh, my good friend Ed is in the chat on Facebook. Ed, it's great to see you here, and I've got sure. Ed, I've got something for Ed here. Where is it? What did I do with it? See, that's why I need a producer. Goodness. That's for Ed. Okay. Thank you for being here, Ed. Ed says, "Hi, Rick. Just got back from a Capella Christmas show." Oh, from an a cappella. I missed the A. I'm sorry. From an a cappella Christmas show, and yeah, I messed up on that one. So it says, "Hi, Rick. Just got back from an a cappella Christmas show." That sounds like fun. You know, I like a cappella. The thing is, I can't sing worth a darn because but I really appreciate those who can and who can do that. There's something about now, yeah, a Christmas show that's a cappella. That I think that's it's very fitting, very fitting. I'm sure that was quite the show too, and I'm sure it was a really fun show. There was the last thing I saw in a cappella. There was a song. There was a rock song or something that I saw somebody do a cappella, and I can't remember who it was now, but it was a group, and they did a really, really fine job of everything, not just singing it, but also some of the instrumental stuff. And it was pretty amazing. It was really amazing. I enjoyed that. Trying to remember what that group was. I can't remember right offhand. Anyway, it was a while back. And this is 14.5% ABV, so I probably killed the brain cells that held that information anyway. So anyway, let's go ahead and open the beer, and then beer. See, I did it again. It's not. No. It's not beer. It's cider. It's cider. Okay. Let's cut right to the chase. Let's put that one down for a while. Let's go ahead and do the cider. Where is my cider photos here? Okay, this is where is it? Oh, here my photos. This is what we're opening tonight for the cider. This is pretty cool. It's caught my eye at Trader Joe's. Cinter Wonderland. Cinter Wonderland. And this is a hard cider from Trader Joe's that I found at Trader Joe's. Looks pretty interesting. And we're going to try that out. Now, I have this. It is chilling. It's just chilling in the official Drink with Rick ice bucket. So I have it right here. And we'll read all the can here for that. And I think that's everything that's in there. Cool. All right, so getting back here, this is it. Cinter Wonderland hard cider. This is hard cider with cinnamon and spices. Now, this is made by Winchester. It's brewed by Winchester Cider Works. This is in Virginia. Virginia hard cider, handcrafted Virginia hard cider. That's what it says. It is, if you see down at the bottom there, it says it's 100% vegan, very low in sugar, and it's gluten-free. It's gluten-free.
Yeah.
For those who can't do the gluten, it is gluten-free. Very low sugar. And it is 6% alcohol by volume. Now, I do have something on the back. Here's the back of it. Now, the back of it says, Cinter Wonderland is a refreshing off-dry cider with cinnamon and other spices to give a spice treat during the colder months. Cheers! And that's from Stephen Sherman, cider maker. Best traditional cider. It has a label here. Best traditional cider. Virginia's best. Platinum winner. It's a platinum winner. Winchester Cider Works is an independent cidery formed in 2012, making ciders with 100% juice from freshly pressed Virginia apples. Well, guess it doesn't get any better than that. This is Winchester Cider. It's brewed by, made by Winchester Cider Works, Winchester, Virginia. And the website is winchesterciderworks.com. I was going to start singing Winchester Cathedral, but I didn't. I don't know why. It just occurred to me. I have no idea. It's just one of those things that cross my mind. Now here's another. It has another side to this thing. In the sidebar, it has a nutrition label on it, which I thought was interesting. And the nutrition facts say it is 190 calories per serving, which is something I need. 4.67% total carbohydrates, 15.3 grams. Okay. Well, all right. So it has a nutrition label on it. So there you go. And anyway, so we're going to open up the cider. There is one thing I did forget to do. And that was when I was going over the pricing, I forgot to tell you what I paid. The median price for that wine, the Super Happy wine, was $10.09 according to what I saw on the web. Vivino, and I think it was another one like $9 or something from that. What's the other website? Was it Reverse Wine Snob that said that? No, some other site. But I'll tell you what I paid for it. Let me switch back over here. Let me tell you what I paid for this bottle of wine. I paid, and this is from Trader Joe's, by the way. I paid for the 750 milliliter bottle of the. If I can find it on here, where is it? Or did I grab the wrong one? I think I grabbed the wrong one. Here it is. I think this is it. Yes, here it is. For the 750 milliliter bottle of Super Happy red wine, I paid. Where's my drum roll? Okay. I paid $9.99. $9.99. So it's a couple of cents less than what Vivino said it was. Vivino said the price was, what was it? $10.04. So I paid 5 cents less than that. Of course, after we add in all the taxes and all that kind of stuff, But that's what that was for the wine, which so far I think it was a pretty good buy. Yeah, I'm happy. I'm pretty happy with the wine. I wouldn't say I'm super happy, but I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not unhappy. The wine was good, but let's get to the cider here. The cider now, the Cinter Wonderland cider. Let me tell you what I paid for that. I paid for the Cinter Wonderland cider. I paid. It's here somewhere. Here it is. Winchester Cider Works. I paid $3. $3 even for this. Yeah, Winchester Cider Works. Okay, I paid $3 even for this can of cider, and it is 1 pint. It's 1 pint of cider. Which camera am I on? This one. All right, so let's go ahead and do the cider, and I could use the beer mug, but I'm going to use this for the cider instead. So let's go ahead and open up the cider, and let's pour some in here. Heck, let's pour some more in there. Why not? I don't have to swirl it. I'm just going to pour it in there. There you go. There's the cider. And this actually has a pretty healthy. Now, everyone have your cider notebooks, your official Drink with Rick cider tasting notebooks hanging. Let's refer that. Do I have one up here? I had one before. Where is it? Here it is. I got one right here. Okay. So I like the color of this. It's a nice, healthy. As my son would say, it's a nice pea color. Yes, the urologist would say, it's all urine. It's not mine. It's all urine. Okay, where we go? Let me just pick a page, any page. So the color would we say the color is yellow? I would say it's yellow. The color is yellow. Yellow, gold, amber, brown. I wouldn't say it's not amber. It's yellow. And the taste. Well, okay, let's get to the aromas. Let's see what this. Let's do a sniff on this. Now when it says Cinter Wonderland and it says cinnamon and spices, I do smell a little bit, just a hint of cinnamon in this. Smells just a little bit spicy. And and actually I'm smelling some nutmeg. So that's a spice. So, there we go. It didn't specify the spices, I don't think, did it? It didn't specify the spices. No. It says cinnamon and other spices. But I'm smelling nutmeg. Let's give it a taste. Okay, it does taste like a little apple, as expected, because it is cider made from apples. It has a hint of cinnamon. The cinnamon is not as strong as I would have thought it would be. It's a little light on the cinnamon, but I am tasting some nutmeg in this. There is nutmeg, and the thing is, I do like I know my nutmeg because I do like nutmeg because I used to. I was not the kind of person who'd sprinkle nutmeg on eggnog. I was the kind of person who'd dump it on the eggnog. So I know my nutmeg. That didn't turn out the way I meant it. But anyway, let's give it another taste. Yeah, definitely I think there's a little bit more nutmeg than there is cinnamon in here. I want to say sugar. It's not really that sugary. It's not really that sweet. It's more. I'll turn the page here. I would say a little nutty. I don't know. Nutmeg. Would you consider nutmeg nutty? Not really. It's more of a spice. It is just a little bit on the sour side. It's not. I wouldn't call it sweet. I wouldn't necessarily call it tart, but it is a little bit on the sour side, and it is actually really dry. It has a fairly light body. I'd put it on a 2 or 3 on the body, maybe a 2. Acidity. It's fairly high acidity. I'd give it a 3 or 4 on the acidity. On the acidity, medium is 3 is about medium acidity. It has more of a 4. Actually, I retract that. I'm going to call it a 3 on the acidity. It's kind of a medium. It's not that acidic. It is somewhat carbonated, but not really. It's not completely still. But it's the carbonation is so low on this that it almost could be. Very slight carbonation on the tongue. That's the thing. Getting the carbonation on the tongue, but it's just slightly carbonated, but it's not that carbonated where it's going to be bubbly or anything like that, because it's really not. You see, you don't really see any bubbles there. So the carbonation is, here we go. The carbonation is very slight on the tongue. You just feel it on the tongue, but as it goes down, as a slight hint of that on the throat, but it's not. I think it's more still than carbonated. I wouldn't say it's 100% still. It's just I put it a 1. Very low. I don't have a 1 here. I've got a 2. A low. I put it on a very low. For those who have the cider tasting book, and for those who don't, you should get one. They're $8.99 on Amazon. I do give them away on the show. Anybody jumps in here in the chat that is new to the chat, I could probably give one away tonight to them. Let me check around here. Yeah, if you jump in the chat right now, I know there are people watching. Jump in the chat right now. You live in the U.S., I could send you one of these. Jacon says, also, maybe you have played flashlight tag as a kid. Have you thought about laser tag? Oh, taser tag. Oh, taser tag. No, I have not thought about taser tag. I don't think about those things very much. Taser tag. Okay, that's now we're into the dad jokes. Taser tag. I don't understand laser tag, but it's a taser tag. What you been drinking tonight, Jacon? It's okay. Anyway, flashlight tag. You know what? I don't think I've heard of it. I've heard of flashlight tag. I've never played it that I can recall. I've played other forms of tag. Oh man, I've done things in my childhood that is amazing that nobody got killed. I mean, it's just crazy things we did when we tried. We used to, when I was a kid, we had these woods in the back of our house, a largely unincorporated Seminole County, and we had these wooded areas back there. When you get the weeds and stuff, they'd go like, I mean, they'd be like 6-7 feet tall, really thick wooded weeds. And we'd cut those things down, and we'd make forts out in the woods. It was amazing that we never got bit by snakes or anything, because it was pretty wild out there, wild country. But back in those days, that was back in the 70s, mid 70s, and we used to build forts, and we'd have teams, and we'd have dirt clod fights. That's what we did. It wasn't snowball fights, because this was Florida. We didn't have snow in Florida. We that just wasn't a thing. So we'd have dirt clod fights, and it was amazing that we wouldn't even check the dirt clods. We just pick them up off the ground and throw them at each other. And it was amazing that we didn't throw any that had rocks in them or something. And it could have really put a kid out of commission for that. That would be not good. But yeah, we used to have dirt clod fights when I was a kid out in the woods. Yeah, okay. I tell you what, you couldn't do anything like that today. You couldn't do anything like that today at all. Some of the stuff we did when we were kids was just downright dangerous, and by today, by standards then too, or a little bit dangerous, but by today's standards, definitely. That was rough, but yeah, we got away with a lot of stuff when we were kids, and we survived. We got through it, Yeah, the dirt clod fights. I forgot about that. It's funny what I guess you kill off some old some old brain cells with the alcohol, and then replace them with some fresh ones. Hopefully. Some people do drink to forget. Funny thing is, when I drink some of these things, I start remembering things that that were long forgotten. Anyway, dirt clod fights. Ed says it was at the Shakespeare Center in Lock Haven Park. Oh wow, cool. Now, I have never the Shakespeare Center. That's something I'm pretty sure that they built long after I left Orlando, after I left O-Town. For those who are not familiar, Ed lives in that area. I used to live there as well years and years ago. I'm from Orlando, or what a lot of the locals call O-Town, at least back in the day. I don't know what they're calling it now. But anyway, Lock Haven Park, what Ed's referring to as Lock Haven Park, was as an area down there where they had at the time when I was a kid and I was growing up and a young man, even up until the time that I left Orlando, which was almost 18 years ago, they had the Lock Haven Arts Center. The Orlando Garden Club was there, the Lock Haven Arts Center, the what at the time was known as the John Young Museum, Space Museum, and planetarium, because they had a planetarium there. It was really cool stuff there. That whole area was great. And then I think they switched. I think they renamed the John Young Planetarium to something else, and I don't know what it is now. Is that maybe what that is now? Shakespeare Center. They had a little stage there in the planetarium. I'm trying to think back. I'm trying to think back of what all I did there. Actually, that was some pretty cool stuff they did there. As a matter of fact, and here's a little bit of trivia, and I don't know if you know this one. I don't know if you're familiar with this one. But I know this one because I was there at the time that it occurred. But at the John Young, what they called at the time the John Young Planetarium, let me go back for just a little bit, because it brings back a lot of fond memories of that area. Lock Haven Park had the Lock Haven Arts Center, and I used to frequent that quite a bit. And when I joined the film club, as many of you know, that I was a member of the Orlando Cinematography Club, which became the Association of Cinematic Arts, and that's when I was making a lot of my films back then. The club used to put on a film festival every year, and it was like a worldwide film festival where we'd have people from all over the world, all over the country and all over the world submit films for judging. And I served as a judge for several years in that. And then we'd put on the big show. We'd have the big night, kind of like an Oscar night, for Super 8 and 8mm films. And we did that for several years. We did that at the Lock Haven Arts Center a couple of years. And one year I was the projectionist. I was the projectionist there and was behind there doing all that. And I was also kind of an MC because I pre-recorded my voice introducing the show and everything. Anyway, we did that, and another thing that we did, I was a member of the Commodore Users Club when we had the Commodore 64 computers. Later on, Commodore VIC 64 and Commodore VIC 20 computers. We had a Commodore Club, and the Commodore Users Club met every week at the Science Center. They had a big, like a big stage area, a auditorium there. It wasn't real big; it was kind of small, but it was cool. But we used to meet there every week, and I was a member of that Commodore Users Club, so I was doing that for quite a while. Well, it so happens that around that time, this is where I'm getting to the story now, and that's how to do the backstory. But it was around that time. Late 80s, early 90s. I'm trying to get the time right on this. But it was about that time that they were shooting the movie Ernest Saves Christmas, which it's kind of appropriate that we bring this up now because that's one of those Christmas favorite films that they show every year at Christmas. But if you remember Ernest P. Worrell, and he had the Ernest movies, Christmas... Ernest Saves Christmas was one of the films that they did, and they shot that all in Orlando, in the Orlando area. As a matter of fact, this is a really weird story because I was working at Channel 35 at the time, WOFL, and when they were shooting the movie, they basically rented out most of our TV station for them to shoot a lot of the film there. For quite a bit of the film. So I was there working during the day, and they had actually taken over my office for a day or two, so they could shoot a couple of scenes for the film, and they took over one of the studios and things like that in the back end. And so I saw these guys every day for like, I don't know, they were there for a few weeks, and a couple of weeks at least. And so they were shooting the Ernest Saves Christmas there. And I was there during the day, and I'd see their whole film crew and everything there during the day. And then they had to shoot a few scenes over at the Orlando Science Center for a couple of nights. And one night, and we happened to have our Commodore our Commodore, I'm mixing all those clubs up now, the Commodore Computer Club. We had our Commodore meeting there the same night that they were shooting some stuff out in the parking lot for the movie. And after the club meeting, I was packing up and I was taking off, and then I guess I don't know. I guess one of a couple of the crew members recognized me from the TV station earlier today, and they were trying to shoot this scene with. It was a scene with a couple of the characters, and they needed somebody to put a hand, like off screen, to put a hand on the character's shoulder or whatever, and they just needed somebody to do it. So they asked me if I would do it, and I declined. That was my opportunity to be in Ernest Saves Christmas, and I declined because at the time I was thinking, I don't really want to do this. But and I just went on my merry way. But I should have done that. Should have done that, but I didn't. So I was not in Ernest Saves Christmas, but I was there on the set quite a bit. Anyway, there's a story for you. Anyway, see, the brain cells are starting to open back up. All right, the cider's not bad. It's not bad because I preceded it with 14.5% ABV with this wine, but actually the cider's not bad. I don't know. It's okay. Cinter Wonderland. It's kind of a centery kind of cider, whatever that means. So my response to this would be I
like it. Yeah, really neat.
Yeah, I could do that. It's not bad. Not bad. That's my final review on that. Let's see what else we got going on here. Let me check the chats. I haven't checked the chats for a little while. Okay, so let me answer a couple of questions here in the chat. And actually, what I need to do, he says, is there going to be a Christmas stream? I thought I ended. No, I did answer that. Okay. All right, so this is what we got. I've got a comment here from someone who commented on one of the previous streams. Let me read that here. I don't want to forget that. Yes. Let me find it. All right, so this is a comment from Hank. And Hank was responding to, he made a comment for one of the streams that we did sometime back about the Members Mark 2017 Old Vine Zinfandel. I reviewed this Old Vine Zinfandel some time ago, but that was the Members Mark one. And he wants to know, he says, we live in New Hampshire. Please let us know if your Members Mark Zinfandel is available in any surrounding state. We are interested in multiple cases. Thank you. That's from Hank. Well, Hank, I don't sell it, but to be honest, I don't sell it myself. I've just reviewed it. That's all I did. And the Members Mark, if you're not familiar with it, the Members Mark is the house brand for Costco. Costco sells the Members Mark brand. And no, I'm sorry. My mistake. See, I guess I did kill a couple of brain cells. Let me kill a few more. Okay, no. Not Costco. My mistake. Not Costco. Scratch that. Take two. Let's do another take two on this. Okay. It is not a Costco brand. Members Mark, and I know this, Members Mark is a Sam's Club brand. See, I got my clubs mixed up. Sam's Club does the Members Mark. I know that because I'm always making fun of Members Mark. I call them Members Markup. That's what I call it. Okay, so yes, I did review the Old Vine Zinfandel Members Mark. I purchased that at Sam's Club. So if you have a Sam's Club in New Hampshire, which I'm pretty sure you do, you might be able to still find it there because it is the Members Mark brand. They do. I think they still have the Zinfandel there, but you can. That's a 2017, so that was a couple of years ago when that was a while back when I reviewed that. It was maybe last year, the year before. Yeah, you should be able to find it there. Any Sam's Club, you'll find the Old Vine Zinfandel, and I don't know what they're charging for it now. I have no idea what it was. I think at the time, I don't even remember what I paid for it at the time. You have to go back and watch the episode. And I don't remember. I think I killed off too many brain cells today. Oh, well. And that's why the stream is going to be ending soon, because I have to keep a few of my brain cells, whatever I have left, for other projects. So I hope that answers your question there, Hank. That's I know they've got them in New Hampshire. I know they've got them everywhere. All right, let's check the rest of the chats here, see what's going on. Taser tag. No, I'm not sure I want to play that. Okay. Anyway, I think that we're getting close to the end of the show, right? I think we're getting close to there. Is there anything else that I missed? Is there anything on? Okay, there was a price retractor. Did I do the price retraction? No, I did not. We've got to do the price retraction. Okay, last week, we reviewed on the Saturday Night Wine stream. I don't know if it's still here. I might not have. Yeah. No, that's not it. It was where's the beer? That's right. Photos. Here it is, the beer. Okay, last week we reviewed this. It was Cheerwine Holiday Ale from Noda. And I liked this. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. And at the time, I said that I paid, I think, $2.75 for this Cheerwine Ale. By the way, I went back to look for some more of it, and I couldn't find any more, so they sold out of it. It's a seasonal item, so I couldn't get any more, unfortunately. I should have bought a case of it or something. It's too bad. Sorry for me. As my lovely wife, she would say, sorry for you. Yeah, sorry for me. Anyway.
Oh, you're kidding.
So I said at the time that it was $2.75, but I was looking at the wrong receipt. I was looking at the receipt for one of the other ones, which was $2.75. But I have the correct one here right now. The Noda Brewing Cheerwine. This is my retraction. I want to make a correction that the correct price for the Noda Brewing Cheerwine Holiday Ale is $2.34. So it's only $2.34 for that Cheerwine Holiday Ale. And I don't have that was my bad. I'm sorry. But I do admit my mistakes. And we could sit here all night and hear about all the mistakes I've made in my life, but we're not going to do that. Not tonight. I made many of them. So let's see if I try not to make any more tonight. Okay, so I think I got the retraction there. There we go. Okay, so I think that's got it for the show tonight. I do want to give an update. No, well, you know what? I've got to answer a question, don't I? I have a question to still. Okay, Ian Hayes wanted me to comment on the moon landing. Quick before the stream ends. Sorry if you already did got caught up in another combo. Okay, the moon landing. Well, we'll be here for another hour, won't we? Yeah. Okay, so when I was a kid, and I've told this story before, and I'm pretty sure I told it when we were celebrating the landing on the moon in July of 1969. I was there watching it on TV, and my dad, and I said I was going to try to find the original film because my dad he had a 8mm movie camera that he set up in front of the TV. We just got a color TV, and he set up the camera in front of it because he wanted to catch the moon landing. So he set this thing up, and he's rolling this 8mm film, catching the big event where Neil Armstrong set foot on the moon and said, "One small step for man, one giant leap for mankind," and Buzz Aldrin is there, and it was a really, really big day, really exciting stuff, really exciting. And I remember as a kid how fascinated I was with all that. In fact, I was so fascinated with it that I joined a science, some kind of a science subscription, some kind of science magazine, and they were giving away a like if you signed up for the subscription, they would send you a model, a small scale model that you could build of the lunar module, of the Apollo 11 lunar module, which I was really excited about, and I did. I was sent away for it, and I got it, and I built this little model of the lunar. I don't know whatever happened to it, but I built this little model of the lunar module. It was really cool, and it was just something that fascinated everybody. Yeah, it really was. Never had any doubt in my mind as a kid, and even growing up, that moon landing could not be real. And I've heard the conspiracy theories over the years. I've heard the conspiracy theories, and I've watched a lot of the YouTube videos where they debunking this and debunking that and all that kind of stuff. But then again, I've also watched a lot of other videos where they've pinpointed actual spots where the landings occurred, and they were able to see the artifacts left behind of the moon landings, previous moon landings. So I do really think that the moon landings actually have occurred. But I'm not going to. You know what though? I'm not going to try to debate anybody who doesn't believe it or anything like that, because here's my take on it. My take on it is that I was this kid when it happened. I wasn't there on the moon when it happened. I wasn't, I don't know. I mean, I'll take them at their word, but overall, I think the evidence is there that we did land on the moon. They've got plenty of pictures about this event and subsequent events. And the other thing is the Apollo 13 mission, because they were pretty much just about there when they were pretty close, as I understand it, in between Earth and the moon when this happened, and they were pretty lucky to come back. Now, one thing I do remember. But it didn't put any doubts in my mind. I do remember watching the movie. There was a movie that came out about this called Capricorn 1. I don't know if you remember the movie. Capricorn 1 was a movie that's kind of like similar to that, but it was where in this movie, Capricorn 1, it's like they got stuck out there. Or they didn't actually go up there. they faked it. They faked the whole thing, and I guess something I can't remember what the whole plot of the movie, what happened, but some disaster happened where during re-entry or something, when they were faking this thing, they actually sent a rocket up, it came down, and they had and it was it didn't come down right or something, and it looked like they were all killed. So and these three guys are holed up in this whatever it was, a bunker or something, where they're then, or not a bunker, but like a I think it was a hangar converted into a studio or something, where they were faking the whole thing, and then after this thing, after it turned out that the capsule didn't come back like it was supposed to, then I think they were going to kill the guys or something, because they had to kind of keep with the script. So and then I think the guys realized that, so they were trying to escape and tell the world, hey, here we are. We didn't really die. We didn't even leave the planet. That's my recollection of Capricorn 1. Anyway, I probably killed off a few more brain cells from that, so I may have gotten all that messed up. I saw the movie once, and it was so long ago, I don't really remember that much about it. I remember they were trying to get back to civilization after escaping the hangar, to tell everybody, hey, here we are. But other than that, I don't have any thoughts about it. I don't doubt that it actually happened. I don't think it was fake. But if somebody disproves it and winds up in the end disproving it and say, hey, it all was fake, I mean, it's I don't have any evidence to suggest otherwise, but if it ever comes out that it really was, then there you go. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other, except for the fact that I until it's proven that it didn't happen, I'll just go with, hey, I guess it happened. And that's pretty much it. I kind of keep a middle of the road on a lot of this stuff. I try to keep a middle of the road on it. I don't get too involved in all those things, really. So I mean, that's my comment on it. I think it happened. I don't have any reason to believe it didn't. I certainly want to believe it happened, because I really want to think that, oh yeah, we achieved those things. But if it didn't, whatever. Let's see. Anything else? Jaycon says, do you think apes are on the dark side of the moon? No, I don't think apes are on the dark side of the moon, and I don't think Nazis are either. I've seen that movie too. I've seen a lot of movies. I watch too much TV and movies. But then again, I don't think Pink Floyd is there either. Anyway, so dark side of the moon. I'll just put it this way. Since I've never been on the dark side of the moon, I can't say. I just can't say. I don't know. I don't really have an opinion because I've never been to the dark side of the moon. I've never seen it from as far as I know. So, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine, but I don't think there are apes there. Who knows? Maybe Elvis is hiding out there somewhere. According to Weird Al, I think he's hiding under his bed or something. Anyway, so I think that's got it for the show tonight. All right. And let's see what else we got here. Island Hayes says, cheers to the moon and cheers to the space apes across the cosmos. Well, here's the space apes, by the way. And speaking of space apes,
Yeah, that was really cool. Yeah.
Anyway, so I think that's got it for the show tonight, right? Oh, I wanted to give you an update, a quick update on what's going on here. I had wanted to have a couple more films to show before the season ends. I'm still hoping that that's going to happen. The thing is that there's been a delay in getting some of those new films transferred, so I don't know if it's going to happen in time. At this point, it's been a couple of months, and I haven't heard anything back from the transfer facility, so I don't know. I'm going to have to follow up on that. But there were a few other films I kind of wanted to try to transfer too. There was one here on the techniques of animation that I had that I wanted to put together. I want to have ready for my next project, which is the Super 8 show. And just to catch everybody up on, starting preliminary work on the Super 8 show, which is a weekly. It's going to be a weekly podcast and a video podcast. Not really a live stream at this point, but a video podcast on Super 8 filmmaking and filmmaking in general. Because a lot of things have happened in the Super 8 community. And with Kodak just recently retooled and reopened their facility for making film, Super 8 film and theatrical film on large format, like IMAX film, things like that. I've got a Super 8 camera. Here's a minute. I was going to show this off. I was going to show this Super 8. This is a Super 8 camera, and this is where the cartridge would go, and genuine. Now, this is not what I've shot some of my films. I've shot some film on this. I think I shot some titles and stuff for a couple of films on this on one of these cameras. This is not the actual one though. The actual one. This is a Bolex 160. And this is a really cool camera, a silent camera, by the way. But I gave mine. I sold mine. I didn't give it away, but I sold mine, and then purchased this one not too long ago off eBay because I thought I could reconstitute it. Kind of, it's not totally working 100%, but I thought I could get it there. But it turns out that it has an issue there that can't easily be fixed, so I haven't really messed with that. But I do have another camera. I have a sound Super 8 camera that is really, really high quality, and I'm ordering a roll of Super 8 film this week, and I'm going to be shooting. This is really exciting. I'm going to be shooting my first roll of Super 8 film in 32 years. This is going to be exciting. So I'm going to shoot. I'm ordering this, and when I get it in, and hopefully during the holiday break here, I'm going to have some time where I can shoot a really short film. And I don't know if I'm going to have time to show it here before the stream ends. I'm going to try to, but I'm going to shoot a short Super 8 film, and it'll be my first one in 32 years, and see how it looks, see how it goes. So I'm really, really excited about this. Pretty excited, and getting back to my Super 8 roots, and hopefully I can show it here. It'd be very short, a couple of minutes long. And the other project is that the one that's going to be streamed is going to be about public domain films and movies, and just showing movies, kind of like a movie night, a watch party for a classic film. So we're going to go over some classic films and some of the trivia involved in history and stuff in some of those films. That's going to be exciting. Ed, I'm pretty sure you're going to like this. This is going to be right up your alley, to looking at some of these classic films and going over a lot of the trivia, behind the scenes stuff, or things that went on to making of the film, and that kind of thing. It should be a lot of fun. Anyway, that's the update there, and I will provide more information as time goes on. I did say that I was going to try and show a short film tonight. Do we have time? Does anybody want to see a short film tonight before we go? I can do it. Maybe after show. I actually had Jim and Eric queued up. I don't know if we have time for that, do we? We could do it. We can do it if you want. If everybody wants to see a short film, then I can show a short film before we go. Let's see. Jaycon says, why did they call it Super 8? Well, good question. Well, 8mm, back in the day, 8mm, which has been around since the 1940s, 1950s, 8mm was 8 millimeters wide. That's why I call it 8mm. It was half of 16mm, and the way they made that work was 16mm was more of a. It started off kind of as a home movie format, but it went more pro. A lot of TV stations shot on 16mm film, but regular 8, standard. Some people call it regular 8, some people call it standard 8, some just call it 8mm. What they would do is, to make the 8mm film, is they would take the 16mm film stock and double perforate, and the double perforator, which means that they had a perforator on one side and then had a perforator on the other side, and they would spool it on a 25-foot spool, and then you would shoot half of the roll, and when you got to the end of that half roll, then you would turn. Well, it was a full roll, but it was 25 feet. And when you got to the end of that spool, you turn the spool over, and because what it was doing was it was on 8mm, it was only exposing half of that film. You turn it over to expose the other half, and then what they do is they take it to the lab, and they would slit the film in half, and then attach it together, so you would have 50 feet of standard 8mm film. That's what standard 8 was. Super 8 in the 60s, about 1965. As a matter of fact, it was 1965. They took. See, all my brain cells are not dead yet. I still have a few left. But and I shot on 8mm. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can cue this up real quick, because that's a good question. Let me show you. You've probably never seen this. You've never seen this. Okay, we can show a short film here. Let me get my film queued up here and get a different film queued up here. Where is it? I'm gonna find my film thing here. Here we go, film video. All right, so let me cue this up for just a second. This isn't gonna find it. I used to shoot some films when I was a kid. I started making films when I was about 10 years old, and I started off with my dad's standard 8mm film camera, and that was one of the ones that had the double. It was just a 25-foot roll, and you'd flip it, expose one side, flip it over, expose the other side, and make a 50-foot roll of film. When I was about 13 or 14, I shot a film called, I started working on a film called Attack of the Bubble Creatures. And I'm pretty sure I got a clip of this here somewhere. Let me show you. And I can show you what standard 8mm looks like. It's just a clip. I'm not going to show the whole film. The whole film is like, I don't know, 15, 18 minutes long. But this is just one clip. Let me see. Here it is. Here's clip 3. This is the clip that shows the big fight sequence. This is the big climactic fight sequence in this film. And what this film is about, just to set it up for you briefly, this is silent. This was silent film, by the way. But just briefly, this film was about a couple of guys that are walking along, and they, these bubble creatures from outer space attack Earth, and behind this guy's house, and the guy comes out and he's saying, what are you guys doing around my house? And the three of them wind up fighting off these bubble creatures. So this is a quick It's like this is, I think, a 2-minute clip here. Let me show you this. So they went on the roof of this guy's house to fight off these creatures, and guy comes out and says, "Hey, what are you doing on my roof?" And these creatures are flying around. This was all done. This was animation. This was all done drawing on film. I took the film, had them acting out the parts, told them where the bubble creatures were going to be, and then I hand drew these bubble creatures, these bubbles, on the film for thousands of frames. This took me a long time to do this, and but this is a fight scene here. This is one of the climactic scenes of the film. But this was shot on standard 8mm film in an old. This was actually, I think this was in a hand crank camera. So this is the kind of camera that it was spring wound, and you had to crank it up, and you can get like 30-40 seconds of what you would call today recording time. It was film. It was a shooting time on this film on a hand cranked camera, and not really hand crank. It was spring wound. Is what it was. So you'd hand crank the spring, and to wind up the camera, and then you get about 30-35 seconds of time for the motor to operate on the spring, and it worked pretty well. But that's how those cameras were back then. But this was standard 8mm, and no sound to it. I think they made a battery operated one that had a sound stripe for it, so they could have sound on the 8mm. But by that time, Super 8 had come out, and that's my brother Mike on there, and our friend Chris Bronson. Anyway, so Super 8 came out, and then they made some big improvements on standard 8. So this is some Super 8. This is a real Super 8 film. Same width, basically the same specs as standard 8mm, except I don't know if I can get a close-up shot of this or not. Let's see. Except with Super 8 film, it's very, very tiny stuff. The sprocket holes, as you can see there, were smaller. Standard 8, they were larger, and were all located in the middle of the top of the frame. These right here were easier to splice shots together because the sprocket holes were located in the middle of the frame. And they made them smaller, and then they made some sound film. Where this one has sound. This one has a soundtrack. It has a magnetic sound stripe on the side of the film. I don't know if you can see that really. I'd have to get a close-up shot of that, or let's see, how close can I get with this? But this is what the film. I don't know if you can see the sound. You can see the sound stripe a little bit. So this is Super 8 film, and the picture area, because they made the sprocket hole smaller. They were able to make the picture area larger. So the picture area was about 20 to 30% larger than on standard 8mm film. And with Super 8, they put it on a cartridge, with full 50-foot cartridge, instead of on these spools. So you could have a whole 50 feet of film that you could run continuously, instead of having to go 25 feet and then turn it over and expose another 25 feet. So there's some big improvements, big advantages with Super 8 at the time over standard 8mm. So that's how that worked. And when I got my first Super 8 camera, which was a Chinon, funny thing about this is I found this a couple of weeks ago. There is a wine back there. I don't know if you can see it. There's a wine back here. It's called Chinon. it caught my eye. So that's why I'm thinking, well, I got to review this wine for the end of the show. It reminds me of my first Super 8 camera, which was called a Chinon. And I got stories about that, but we'll have to wait. As a matter of fact, there was a Chinon camera, not that one, the first one I got, but a second one, Chinon 1200 SMR, that was used in Space Apes. It was actually the prop camera, the one that we used for in all the scenes where I'm shooting them, the camera that I'm using to shoot them with. We actually did shoot some scenes with it, but that was the main one that was used as the prop camera, was that Chinon camera. Loved that camera. It was a great camera. Yeah, I sold it too. I don't know why I sold this stuff. I really don't. Now I'm trying to recover all this stuff that I sold off a long time ago for this Super 8 show thing I'm doing. Anyway, I got off the weeds on that, but that's why they called it Super 8, because it was super. It took 8mm and it made it super. Just like the Super Happy wine. Took a happy wine and made it super happy. Jacon says, thanks for sharing. It looks better than some CIG nowadays, sadly, maybe because the passion is gone. I suppose that is a subject for another time. Yes, sadly, that is a subject for another time because we've gone way over time tonight. Really have, but I appreciate it. But like I said, once again, you direct the show. It's your show. Island Hayes says, oh yeah, I read that. Okay. Cheers to the moon. Cheers to Space Apes, by the way. I'll do another cheers to Space Apes. And the moon. And Ed, if you haven't fallen asleep yet, I'm about halfway there myself. I think it's time to close it up. All right, final review of the wine. This is what we're drinking tonight. If I can find it again. There it is. Super happy. You know what? I'm feeling kind of super happy right now. I have the Super 8 film out here. I'm going to be starting a Super 8 show. I'm kind of super happy right now. This is Cabernet Sauvignon, Sangiovese, and Malbec Red Blend from Happy Canyon of Santa Barbara. It is a Paso Robles wine, and it is 40% Cab, 40% Sangiovese, and 20% Malbec. And although I'll be honest, I don't know that I really care that much at this point because it's actually pretty good. Some cherry, yeah. I'm feeling kind of super happy. I tell you, I haven't gotten that far. You know what? I haven't gotten that far down the bottle. I mean, if you look, let me get close up here. That's not it. This is it. Okay, I don't know if you see it. Look at that. I have not had that much of this wine. Look at it. You can see it. I have not had that much, honestly. But I'm feeling super happy. Now, this wine has some cherry. It has some black fruits in it, too. It tastes a little strawberry in it, but maybe a little bit more now, actually. Yeah, a little bit more. Getting some blueberry and maybe a little bit of blackberry in there too. Spices, some spicy stuff in there, although I can't really at the moment pick out the spices, and to be honest, I don't really care anyway. Yeah, I'm sorry. 14, what is it? What did I say it was? Let's go back to this. I think it said 14.5%. Yeah, it's a 2023. 14.9. Oh, whoa. It's it's not 14.5% ABV. It's 14.9% ABV. Yeah, I know, Bill. I know. 14.9% ABV. Wow. Okay, so yeah, I'm feeling it. And of course, I've been having this cider. And now, okay, the wine's good. I like the wine. It's not just because it's practically 15% ABV, and as we all know, that ABV on the label isn't necessarily what it actually is. It's usually a lot higher. So who knows? Who cares? Yeah, I'm feeling super happy. I like the wine. It has a fairly long finish, and I can taste the alcohol in the finish. But again, who cares? It goes pretty well with all the food. It went really well with everything on the plate. It went really well with everything. The pizza, which is not on the plate anymore, it's right here. There it is, such as it is. I didn't even try it with these things. I didn't try anything of these things. But because I had something else. I was gonna open up this. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I'll do that next time. How with beer? It went pretty well with everything. So I give it 2 thumbs up on that. I'll give it a 4.2 stars. I think I'm feeling super happy. I like the wine. It's pretty good. Although I would recommend that you have this with food and not on its own. I really would. The cider, very similar thing. I'm actually surprised we got a winner. We got 2 winners here. The cider is pretty good. That's not the shot I wanted, but let's see. Where's the shot that I wanted? Here it is. Cinter Wonderland. This is a hard cider, and I'm telling you, it's kind of hard cider. It's cinnamon spices, 6% ABV. Probably a little higher than that, I'll bet. But it's 100% vegan, very low in sugar, and it's gluten-free. And of course, this is apple. It's made with apples, cinnamon, and spices. It doesn't specify the spices, but I'm telling you that I'm getting nutmeg. Cinnamon and nutmeg in this. That's what I'm tasting. So overall, pretty good, both of them. And so I give this one a thumbs up as well. All right, well, I guess that does it for the show tonight. My good friend Ed says, good to see the bubble creatures that you scratched onto such tiny film. Thank you. And Ed knows this film well. He's seen it. He's seen the entire film. Once again, that clip I showed was only like a 2-minute clip, but the entire film is about 60 minutes long. And maybe one of these days we'll show it again. I'm going to try and make an original soundtrack for it. Since it was a silent film, I thought it'd be kind of cool to make one, but I just haven't got time to get around to it. Maybe one of these days, put a soundtrack on it. Music track, that is. Give it some kind of theatrical, motion picture, music, something like that. Anyway, so that's our show tonight. I want to thank everybody for being here with me tonight. I want to thank my good friend Ed for being here, and I want to thank J-Con for being here, and Island Hayes. And Island Hayes says, thanks for the stream. Love you, Rick. Have a great night. Well, right back at you, Island Hayes. I really, really appreciate you being here, as always. Also, where's J-Con? J-Con says, thanks for sharing. It looks better than some CG. Oh, I read that. But J-Con, I really appreciate you being here as well. And we have a first-time chatter in here. Chico Mamadira. And I'm not sure what he's saying there, but I think he's spamming us. So, all right. Well, anyway, appreciate everybody for being here tonight. I want to thank each and every one of you. You mean a lot to me, a lot more than you think. And I mean, once again, this has been a labor of love for the last. But for all 7 seasons here, this has just been a labor of love. Not for fun. It's not making money on it or anything like that. Just doing it for fun. The passion of streaming and enjoying camaraderie and company of others who are also wanting to have a Saturday night where we can all just get together and just have a good time. That's what it's about. At this point, I want to bring out your friend and mine, the official mascot of Drink with Rick on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. And, of course, he is none other than Roadkill Bill. And he's right here. Here he is. Yeah. Roadkill Bill. And Roadkill Bill has a special message for all of us, don't you, Bill? Yes, he does. And his message is, oh, by the way, you get some applause. Don't you deserve some applause? I think you do. Bill deserves some applause. So we're going to give him some right now. Good going, Bill. Thanks for being here with us throughout all of these streams. Bill has a very special message for all of us, and his message is, please do not drink and drive. Drink in the comfort of your home, your apartment, your hotel room, your dwelling, wherever it is. If you have to go somewhere, call an Uber, call a Lyft, call a friend, call a cab, call a bus, Gus, or just stay put. It's not worth it. Don't put yourself at risk. Don't put others at risk. By the way, I was on the road today, not today, the other day, going to work. There were two, not one. Usually I'll see one, but this time there were two people. And it was actually on the way home from work in both cases. I was trying to get home, and there were two different vehicles that I was trying to get on the highway and the on-ramp, and there was a truck going super slow, a pickup. And I'm thinking, why are they going super slow? And I was having trouble getting onto the road because they were going so slow. When I finally got around them, it looked like the person was looking at their phone. They were going super slow. They were looking at their phone. They were not looking at the road. And then not more than a couple of miles after that, there was somebody else who was braking in the middle of the highway, braking. And I had to hit my brake, and they were trying to avoid an accident there on the highway. And I got around this person, once again, someone looking at their phone, texting on their phone. And I tried to get around them and get away from them as soon as possible. I'm telling you, this is dangerous stuff. Please do not text and drive. It's so dangerous. I hope they all got home safely, but I tell you what, it puts people at risk around you as well as, it really does. So please do not text and drive. It's just amazing how many people don't get that message. They don't understand. It's so simple. It's so obvious. Like, why would you do that? But there are people there that just don't seem to, I don't know. I don't get it. I really don't. It should be obvious how dangerous that is. But I'm talking to the choir here because I know you don't do that. Just the same, that's our public service announcement, right? That's right, Bill. Okay. Because I want you to have a great week. But most of all, I want you to have a safe week. So you can join me here again next week on the Saturday Night Wine Stream. And let me see. Oh, yes. Next week, the 28th. That'll be a good show. Don't miss it. And we can all get together and drink with Rick. Good night.